Yo, if you are looking for a training program, a nutrition program, a shift in mindset, a lifestyle change, anything to do with bettering your health, I'm Ben Canning and this is We Hack Health. Initially, whenever I started working with the infamous @Hacking Dave, after a couple of months, I started working with more and more people just off the back of working with him and him sharing his story along the way. Similar people who worked in cybersecurity and InfoSec. The first thing that I noticed was I actually really enjoyed coaching these people. I really enjoyed having the conversations. It was interesting for me to see into their world and what that looked like. The second thing was I began to see a real serious problem in terms of like what they go through day to day, like how their life looks like, what their lifestyle is. And after about 6 months of working with Dave and a few others, I made a pretty conscious decision. It's like, right, okay, these are the people I'm going to work with because there is an entire industry worth of people here that genuinely need help. Over the years, I have learned a lot more about the cybersecurity industry. I've learned a lot more about the pressures day to day, the stress of the job, and just what it looks like. And every so often, I decide to hit that big red fucker button and like take the whole business model apart, take the whole coaching process apart, and rebuild it so it's more applicable to what they do. Whenever I started coaching them, it was just like I just fitted my coaching style to them. But as it's evolved, and I get a bit more of an understanding as to who they are, what they do, what their interests are, how I can sort of relate what they do to what I do and give them the solutions to their problem. The whole process has been refined. What are we here to do today? Tell you what that looks like. I split this into 3 coaching styles or coaching programs: the program, endgame, and private clients. So we're going to look at each one in a little bit more detail, and I'll start with the program. The program is a recent addition, and truthfully how it came about, I was having a conversation with clients as to how they felt that if they were starting off again, something that they would benefit from. And the truth of the matter was the biggest thing that they had to overcome was the commitment. So each of the other programs are at least 12 months commitment time, whereas the program is only 8 weeks. It's an introduction to what We Hack Health is, the team, the coaching style. It will give you the understanding of what you need to do, where you're going wrong, things that you can do to make a change, and basically arm you with the tools and start you on your journey. It is not the thing that is going to get you to the end result, but it is the thing that will kickstart you on the journey. The program is aimed at anybody, from people who had never been to the gym before and who were just felt like shit and wanted to change that, or people who have been pretty consistent in the gym for a year or more and just basically wanted either a bit of a reset because they felt like they were sort of falling off the wagon, let's say, or they wanted to just like reaffirm the stuff that they were doing was actually beneficial and learn a little bit more as to how they could be more efficient in the stuff that they're doing. Or is there things that they can look at in a little bit more detail, essentially just completely optimize the stuff that they're doing. Sometimes whenever I say that the entire industry needs a complete overhaul, there are people who do manage their training and nutrition, there are people who look after themselves. And I think people who train for an extended period of time, they often can get complacent in certain areas. I know myself that I do that. If I don't have a coach or somebody else looking at or keeping me accountable, I do that myself. So I can see that, they almost forget the basics and the fundamental stuff that they should be doing because they're focused on the more advanced stuff. So for them, it was a case of just like finding out what their baseline was and looking, number one, what they're trying to achieve, and number two, like how we can do that in the most efficient way. If you're somebody who has done the gym before, has done gym moves before, and it's always been a part of your life, either you're stuck in the position that you are and you don't really know where to go, like you feel like you've maxed out all the options and you're doing all of the stuff, or other people who were maybe into sports whenever they're younger, or a collegiate athlete or something like that, that they don't have the same team accountability, or they don't have their coach from high school keeping them accountable, and probably the stuff that they were doing then isn't necessarily applicable to the stuff they're doing now. They don't have 20 hours to go swimming every single week, and they want to find a way that they can incorporate some sort of movement or some sort of weight and resistance training. It'll allow them to work out some sort of training protocol that they can incorporate into what their life looks like now. Like other areas that we can look at refining and other bits and pieces that we can pull together to make sure you're getting the most from the time you're spent doing this stuff. The other sort of person that we see, or that I did see coming into the program, is somebody who had never been into the gym before. And I think the general consensus with that is somebody that they know that they need to make change, or they actively want to make change. And I think the problem that they face is using the internet. They read every single article and it tells them something different. So what we do is we basically map out what that initial phase should look like, the things that they should focus on, the things that they don't really need to worry about at this point, and basically, in the nicest way possible, spoon feeding them the information as they need it instead of just dumping it all on their lap on the way. So that's the program. It is an 8-week starter pack that will either reset you on the stuff that you're already doing or give you the tools and allow you to progress from that point if you manage to continue to do the stuff on your own. It'll allow you to build habits and behaviors that will force you to live a better life. After that, you're free to fucking go and do whatever you want. If you want a little bit more, that's where Endgame comes in. So it's a 12-month program. It runs in 4 phases across the 12 months. Essentially, everybody will start at the same time, and this was a huge benefit that I realized whenever we introduced the program. With the goal of Endgame, we're going to start everybody at the same time, and they're going to run through the same roadmap in the initial phase. From that point, we will assess every 12, 13, or 14 weeks, depending on where you're at, seeing how we're progressing, have we hit the goal, and what the next target is. The reason that I like working with people over a year is it allows you to go through the seasons of life and the actual physical seasons as well. So it's all well and good starting something, things are easy breezy, life's easy, and you can manage things pretty well. Whenever the shit hits the fan and there's some sort of issue or work's busy or stressful, that's whenever coaching comes in, and it allows us to manage those things as a coaching team to give you the tools to handle those there and then, but also arm you with the tools so you know how to handle it down the line. The other thing is it allows us to go through a few different phases with you as a client. So initially, the potential is we'll look at a fat loss phase. Once we've completed that, we'll look at either a strength phase or a muscle building phase or something like that. And again, it gives you the knowledge that you know how to do these things in the future. While we communicate and interact as a group through weekly group calls and the Discord communication channel, everything is still tailored to you and your needs. You will still be coached individually. Your training will be based on the time you have available, the equipment that you have available, what your goals are, any injuries that you may have. The calorie management and nutrition management will be based again on your goals, your preferences, and anything that you need to do from that point. But it still allows you that group format to benefit from the community, because one of the biggest things that we have seen time and time again is they really benefit from having a group of people to go through the journey with, whether it's to support, tell them to shut the fuck up and get on with it, empathize, or understand what they're going through because they have either been in the position themselves, they deal with similar stresses in a work capacity, and people who just fucking get it. So you've got personalized coaching and you've got peer-to-peer learning. We work with clients over the year. There is the option to continue if you do wish. The concept of it is not just a physical transformation, but also how you think and how you feel. Essentially a full lifestyle overhaul. One of my long-term clients, Jen, she said to me once that she used to see herself as she had to go to the gym because of the thing. She wanted to lose weight or whatever the goal was. But she now goes to the gym because she identifies as somebody who goes to the gym. It's something that she does on a daily or on a weekly basis. The biggest piece of the puzzle is educating people how to fit this stuff into their life. It's not how to, right, okay, I need to do this program to get me from A to B, but it was tough and it's not something that's realistic or long term. Whereas whenever you sit down with a client, you can have a conversation, see what their life looks like, see what their time commitments actually are, and see a way that, okay, right, we may not be able to do 5 sessions a week, but we can do 3. What are your non-negotiables that are in line with your lifestyle and your goals? One of the things that I have changed between how we coached in Hacks versus how we coach in Endgame is the pointing system. I've noticed over time and time again, if I give magic internet points to people, they're more likely to do the stuff. Now, bear in mind, the stuff is the thing that are going to make them feel better. They're going to perform better. They're going to think better. They're going to change their physique. They're more interested in the fucking internet points. So what we've done with that is we've created a point system, a scoring system based on your check-in, your compliance rate, and your progression over the time that we're working together. In line with that, there will be a leaderboard, which probably will get quite competitive. There will be prizes every month, potentially spot prizes on a weekly basis. And there will actually be some benefit to actually doing the stuff apart from getting the benefit physically and mentally. To me, Endgame is the last coaching program you will ever need to join. It's more than just the sets and reps, and it's more than just the macros. It is an education process that will allow you to completely rewrite your lifestyle. It will unlock new levels of life that you don't even know exist. It will teach you how to manage your nutrition. It will teach you how to manage your training. It will teach you how to manage your mood and your energy. It will teach you how to manage your time, your ability to focus, your time spent with peers, colleagues, friends, family, yourself. It will give you the tools that you can navigate life at a higher level forever. The thing about Endgame is though, like it is not something that you can just join all of the time. There are specific set intakes. If you miss that, you're gonna have to wait. The other option is becoming a private client of mine, working with me individually, as much of me as I can physically give you on a daily and a weekly basis. You will have a direct line of communication with me. So if you need something, you can shoot me a message. You have the ability to book a call with me on a weekly basis if you do need so. All of your check-ins will be dealt with in video format. So I'll record a video and send it back to you anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes long based on what's going on. This is a not for everybody type situation. Truthfully, the difference is it allows me to be a little bit more adaptive. So if you have a super crazy schedule, or you travel a lot, or things that need to be adapted and managed at a faster pace that you need direct line of communication, this is what is for you. I know it's not for everybody. I don't have a capacity to coach everybody in this aspect. This is more for like super high performing professionals that just have crazy schedule that just need to delegate this thing. They don't have the time to go and read the latest research or actually give a fuck about it. They just want to be told what to do, what to eat, when to train. They need I have a business meeting that I need to fly to fucking New York next week. I need you to change my training program. This is the hotel that I'm going to stay at. Where am I going to eat? Things like that, like concierge level coaching. Not only you work with me, you get to work with the team. So we have Thomas. Thomas's specialty is movement, execution, and data verification. So he will look at the compound lifts, the exercise execution, the form feedback. That is what he does. He will analyze check-ins to make sure that you're moving in the right direction, and he keeps you on track to make sure that you're in line with the goal. We also work with Jen, who's a program architect. She is the one that will build out the programs. So if you have any complaints about Bulgarian split squats, you can take them up with her. She will manage all of the programs, outline the phases, and outline what your initial 12-week block looks like, and then anything that comes beyond that. We also work with Lorena, who is our movement systems engineer. She is a movement and mobility coach. She will look at your movements in a slightly different way from a mobility aspect versus just looking at mechanically how your body's moving. What we can do is we can incorporate mobility exercises within that. This came from my own, I guess, experience of going for someone who was quite active and worked on the gym floor to essentially sitting at this desk. I realized I was starting to collect movement and mobility problems, and I realized if I had people who had been sitting at a desk for 20 or 30 years, they probably have something similar that they need to overcome. So she looks after all of the mobility, and there are endless resources in the mainframe that I'll talk about in a second that you can use full body mobility movements. If you have problems with your shoulder, desk mobility, whatever it is. We also have Sean. The best phrase that I can give him is somebody who can recalibrate your entire system from a nervous system perspective. He, on paper, is a breathwork coach. To us, a lot more than that. He will help with mindset. He will help how you think. He will offer you perspective on things. He will teach you how to manage different situations, different breathwork techniques for going to sleep, managing stressful situations, managing anxiety, whatever it might be. And you will have access to him on the monthly expert calls, and also a coaching program that he runs called the 555 Club, which is essentially 15 minutes of breathwork, meditation, and journaling that run 5 days a week, 5 times per day, and you'll have access to all of that as well. One of the additional things that we do at We Hack Health is we run events. I'd say that we run them twice a year, but we do them probably 5 or 6 times a year. They are branded as lifting camp. Sometimes they lean towards a little bit more margarita camp, but the huge benefit that is being able to blend the digital, virtual, online coaching with in-person coaching as well. So what we do is we get together every couple of months, we pick a city or a state, we hire the biggest fucking Airbnb that we can, we get everybody into it, we do mindset stuff, either in person or we bring them in virtually. We get together in the gym, so you get some one-on-one time with me and the rest of the coaches. You get to train with the rest of the team, which I think is hugely beneficial because a lot of the people that I work with train individually. So seeing other humans actually train is beneficial for them. We have some downtime, drink some margaritas, chill out by the pool, eat some really good food. Sometimes my mums are making fucking tacos for everybody. Truthfully, if I'm honest, I feel like my job has now become event planner with a little bit of coaching on the side, but it's something I really look forward to in terms of bringing people together and hosting fucking spectacular events. But you cannot join unless you're part of the team. Two of the major benefits from the in-person event is, number one, if you have something that you physically need to work on. So if it's like hands-on in the gym, you need a movement fixed or mobility fixed or whatever it might be, we do that in person. If you need something fixed for your nutrition, we house anywhere between 10 and 50 people and we show them how to eat across the week. And we get to do some of the mindset stuff in person. And I think I guess the deeper level of where I see the benefit of that side of it come in is the conversations that happen outside of the stuff, the connections that are made, and the relationships and friendships that are formed that then, you know, happen outside of the community, outside of the fucking digital world, outside of Discord, where you can actually build a friendship with somebody that you would have never come across in any other aspect. The additional part of this, and I think this is something that's quite cool, is there's the flex and or pressure, depending on whatever way you look at it, is you see a person in person and then you have 3 months or 4 months or 5 months before you see that person again. So you get to work your fucking ass off so that the next time you see them, you get the big ups of like, fucking hell, you look much bigger, or you look much leaner, or you're much stronger. And I think that that's something that's often overlooked. So there's like that additional accountability from not just me and the rest of the team, but the other people within the program that you know you're going to see them, so you want to have made progress the next time you see them. So they are the 3 levels of training that we offer here at We Hack Health. If you want to play the game, if you want to be part of the show, if you want to come and join the cult adjacent thing that we have going on, go to wehackhealth.com.